was yesterday. May 20th, 2011, I found out that I was diagnosed with leukemia, and I was devastated. I don't think anybody can ever be ready for something like that, or know that's coming. And when that happened to me, my whole world just came crashing down. It took 4 months to find a donor. First, they looked through my family, and I'm the youngest of 5 kids, so they looked at my sister and my 3 older brothers, and none of them were a match to me.
Someone called me, didn't give me specific details about him, but they said he's suffering from leukemia. By doing it, I'm actually saving his life.
Without a transplant, I would have like 3 months, 6 months. I mean, it's a rapid disease, and it kills you fast.
Once you know that you're holding someone's life in your hand, there's not much to think about. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We're driving in the car, and I can see where we are. We're driving, and my coordinator, Jody, said, like, are you sitting down? Are you in a car? Maybe you should park. And she told us that we have a donor, and it's really going to happen. And it's an amazing feeling to know.
I've been thinking about him constantly for the past 2 years.
I always tell people, I think about him every day because it's true, and I feel him every day. I feel him in my heart. His blood runs in my veins.
He's like a family to me.
Today you're going to meet him.
Yes.
I've been waiting for this moment and think about how amazing this guy is. He's my hero.
Hi, it's good to see everybody. And I want to thank you all for coming. So I thought I'd start by telling you a little bit of my story. It was always my dream to be a doctor. And when I was in school, I was always pursuing that. In high school, my classmates voted me the most likely to cure cancer. And sure enough, a year later, I laid in a bed with cancer. So I was diagnosed with leukemia on May 20th, 2011. It was the worst day of my life. It'll always be the worst day of my life. But I had hope. I had 4 older siblings, and I thought that for sure one of them would be a match. But that didn't really work out. They were no match. So then we started a search, and we looked all over the United States. And there was a match in the United States, but they weren't satisfied with that. So they continued to make the search worldwide until we found my donor in Israel. Some of the things that went through my mind during my diagnosis and during the time waiting for my transplant, I was transplanted in September 23rd, 2011, so I had to wait 4 months. I was so fearful of my life, and I can remember telling my mom that I didn't want to die. I wasn't ready to die. I hadn't made a contribution to the world. And, just to think that someone from across the world was going to save my life was something unbelievable. So I had my transplant. I had complication after complication. You name it, I had it. It was very rough. And they were thinking about giving me a second bone marrow transplant. So they called up Ezer Mitzion, and talked to my donor, and he was willing to go through the process one more time. Luckily, I didn't have to have the second transplant. His bone marrow started kicking into high gear, and I didn't have to endure that again. But I just couldn't imagine that somebody was willing to risk their life to save mine. A total stranger who doesn't know me, know nothing about me, is across the world, was willing to risk his life and take the time and go through everything to save me. I wouldn't be here with that. And I've waited for the day that I can meet him, that I could thank him. And we've written through correspondence anonymously over these 2 years. The things I can't wait to tell him. He's my hero. He's the most amazing person in the world. I love him so much. He's in my heart every day. His blood runs through my veins. And that's literal too. My blood type was O positive, and it changed to A positive, is what his is. So I think about him all the time. I can't wait till the day to meet him and tell him how unbelievable he is to me and my family. And you know, going through those 4 months, I spent over 100 days in the hospital. 102 days I slept over at the hospital. And 102 days, my dad slept over at the hospital. And the majority of those days, my mom slept over at the hospital. And I was never alone through the whole thing. I didn't go to one doctor's appointment alone. I didn't spend a day in the infusion center alone. So with that in mind, I would like to bring my dad up here. And I could bring my mom as well.
To honor Jacob's donor, we put an Israeli flag up in his room, and we would tell him that he had nothing to worry about. The IDF was behind him, the Israeli army. And here, like they say, life comes full circle. We're here, and we're honored and so incredibly grateful to Jacob's donor and to all of you.
Jacob, does the name Rohi Horowitz mean anything to you? Rohi Horowitz lives in Israel, and he is the person that gave you your bone marrow that saved your life. Ladies and gentlemen, Rohi Horowitz has come here from Israel tonight to be especially here for you this evening and to finally meet you. Are you ready to meet Rohi Horowitz?
You bet.
Rohi Horowitz, please come in and say hello.
Take it off. But I want you to have it. This one I want you to keep, and then this one I want you to wear. And I always wear one. Every day. So that's a new one. This one is 2 years old. So you keep this. You keep that with you. Every day I think about you.
They told you you're 100% fine now.
Yeah, and they test my blood every so often to see how much is mine and how much is yours. It's all yours. I don't make any of mine. Yeah, that's what they want. I make your blood. And I always tell people, I feel you in my heart, and your blood runs through my veins.
Emotional for me.
Oh yeah.
You have a plan to come to Israel at some point?
I want to. I don't have any plans yet.
First of all, you know you have a place to stay, yeah?
Yeah.
Family in Israel.